Easy, Brody. High five. Did you give me a high five? Brody, sit. Sit. High five. Oh, I did it good. High five. Yeah, good boy. Shake. Oh, good boy. Here's my baby. Oh, here's my baby. Oh, it's everything. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Art Classes My Way. Today, we're going to do a little bit more business-related stuff. Sorry, I haven't really been posting too much lately. I am moving to a new house, so huzzah, but at the same time, oh my god, there's so much packing to do. So, things might be a little bit lighter than normal. If I get the opportunity to post, it's been pretty busy here going on, but I do plan to get back to a normal schedule as soon as things do settle down, so please be patient with me, and I apologize. But you can see we have the notepad out again, so this is, once again, more of some basic steps as far as getting started with going to all these different fairs and festivals and art sales places and different things like that, and kind of keeping track of stuff and just making easy records for tax purposes. You get audited, you have a record of pretty much anything that they would want. So here's what I myself do, and my parents have been audited in the past before, and I remember what they had to go through, so I'm going off of what the auditor requested when all that happened. So this is just what I noticed from what they wanted during that time period. So right here across the top, I'm going to be going to a little, it's like a wine fair. So that's where I'm going to put it, because I don't really know the name of it yet. And then I'll have plenty of room over here for the date, the day that this is going to be taking place, or dates if this is something that happens more than one day in a row. I went to Strawberry Festival. That was a 3-day thing, so I put all 3 days. And then I put the sales I made for the days, you know, in their own categories. So that's that there. So that way we know what this page is supposed to be for. I do know it's 2017. I don't remember the exact day that it's going to be happening, but I know it's September. There we are. And then I'll fill in the date there when I have that information in front of me. And looking at my cheat sheet over here. So over here, I'm going to put a sales category, which, since it's only for one day, it's just going to be one sales category right there. Now, the important thing I feel that most people don't realize when they're just starting their own business and doing these kinds of things, these are tax deductible related items. So these are your expenses. Pardon me if I don't spell expenses right. Yeah, I choked. Sorry. I know what I mean by that. So expenses, for those of you who can't read dyslexic. So for this one, there is a booth setup. It is a $40 booth setup. So there's one booth. I know that it takes 1/4 of a tank of gas for me to drive to Crawfordsville. I found out about this because the people came to our gallery and asked our gallery manager to email this information out to everybody. So for me to go from what I've already looked up, for me to go from home to this place, that's going to be about $15 in gas. It takes $60 to fill up my tank on my truck, and it takes me a 1/4, of a tank of gas to get down to Crawfordsville, so that ought to be able to cover that pretty easy. Now, I will make a separate category for miles. I already looked it up, and it was about, let's see here, I'll put miles. Now, miles can be taken off of your taxes as well. It's for your vehicle itself. You are using up your vehicle, you're using your tires. Basically, it goes towards you being able to pay to keep your vehicle in repair. So always record your miles whenever you're doing something business related. Even if it's just going to talk to people about, hey, I would like to put my art in your store, in your gallery, what have you. That counts, both home and back. And for me, that trip is basically about 68 miles. So I'll put that down there. Now, I am going to leave a little bit of room just in case, because, see here, on my other pages, entry fee, gas, this thing, the taxes were taken out, and there were no real expenses for that. Oh, yeah. And whoop. Yeah. So pretty much those are my average expenses there. Now, if I choose to buy anything while I'm at this, like for instance, when I went to the Strawberry Festival that I had gone to, there was a gentleman there who had these awesome display pieces. I bought a few of those. I bought those display things for my business, for my table, to make it look nicer. So I put that down as an expense. I also have the receipt from where I purchased that as well. So I put that down on that page, and we'll see what happens. At least leave yourself a little bit of room. Now, you can't take things off like food. You're going to have to eat anyway. So those are things, if you're going to have to do it anyway, you might have to go to the bathroom. It's implied that you might have to go to the bathroom. You can't take that off on your expenses because it's something you would have done anyway, regardless if you were doing business related or not. So food is something you can't take off. Now, if you take somebody on a business lunch, that's something different. And when you get the receipt, you just write lunch with such and such, put their name down on the back of the receipt, and what it is you talked about. For me, it could be jewelry, it could be a custom-made painting, you know, could be a variety of things for me. For you guys, again, put down what it was you were talking about. Some people even say, well, okay, I went to dinner with my spouse, we took this off because we sat there at dinner talking the entire time about what to do for the business and where we need to cut back and this, that, and the other. That can also count as well. It was basically a business meeting at that point instead of taking a client out, but you know, what have you. So that would be something as well, but that's something you want on a different, write it on the receipt. It would be separate from this. Now, what you could do, you could, after all it's said and done, you could staple your receipt to the corner of the page, which would be pretty awesome as well. Makes it everything nice and easy for if you ever get audited, to have all that information right there. It's like, yep, there's this, 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 and this, and you can see it all right here. And yeah, here's the email that says it was $40 to have the booth space at this event that I was at. And if you have a Facebook page where you ask somebody to take a picture of your booth or something, other vendors, they're great people. A lot of them are very nice, and they're willing to take a photo of you at your booth at the place, and like, oh yeah, you want proof that I was here, that I'm not making all this up? Yeah, just go to Facebook. My picture's right there saying that I went here, and here's a picture of me standing there. Yeah. So that works out pretty great. Now you got your sales over here, and pretty much just list your sales. Do make notes about what's sold. Don't just write bracelet, necklace, ring, earrings. Nah, that's not going to help you. Now, you're going to want to put things like, more like pearl bracelet, or green pearl bracelet, or turquoise pendant necklace. Something that kind of tells you what this item was. And if you can take a picture of the people who have bought the piece and like, yeah, for my happy customers section on my Facebook page, have them wear the piece and take a picture of them, so that way, one, you can get advertisement that way. Yes, real people are buying my stuff and they are enjoying it, but also it gives you a kind of a slideshow of what it is that people like about your work and what is selling. So you want to be a little bit more descriptive. Having photos, that's great. If you have something that doesn't quite fall apart as easily as this, book here, the bound ones, you could even take those photos, print them off, and then attach them to the sheet, so that way you basically have a flip book of things that are selling, and that's always a great idea. So make sure you leave plenty of room for description. Sales isn't going to be that wide. And then after that, what you're going to want to do, sales tax. So this is going to be my sales tax section for the state of Indiana. It is it's 7%, so that's 0.07. So here in Indiana, it's 0.07. So you're going to take that and put it into what your sales are. Go ahead and write down, just what your sales tax is. Total it up at the end. Again, I don't know how long I'm going to need this. You could even double it up. You go down one side, total it, go down the other side, total it, put the two together. That's your sales tax. Just trying to use up your page, trying to keep it on the same page. And then that way you can take that money and put it aside, so that way at the end of the year, or however it is your state does taxes. Some states, I think they do it. It also depends on how much you make. Like if you make thousands of dollars, yeah, they're going to want you to report that quarterly. Fun, right? Less time actually creating, more time doing paperwork. But that's the way running your own business is. Others times they'll just want you to flat out do it quarterly, and sometimes they'll want you to do it yearly, and depending on how much you make in the beginning, they might just tell you to just do it annually. So what have you there. So then you're going to want to total that, and that's going to be what you're going to want to hold back for your state. Look up your state. I only know that Indiana's sales tax is 7%. So yeah, so this is a super short one. I'm sorry, guys, but I wanted to maybe get this out there for some of you who, I know not everybody's extremely organized, or, maybe don't even know where to start and what to begin with when starting their own business. And I do hope this helps. My father is a concrete contractor. He's owned his own concrete contracting business for a long time. He bought it off of Grandpa. My dad learned from his dad. I learned from my dad and my mom. She was also a hairdresser. She also did nails. If you can't tell, no. I'm not a girly girl. I can't stand it. But my mom's also ran her own business as well. She's always been a very successful hairdresser. And at some point, depending on how ambitious she was, she'd have tanning booths in her hair salon, and she would have... I think at one point in time when I was a really little girl, she had a gym. That was back in the 80s. She had weightlifting stuff. And I think there was a gentleman who basically rented this space to run his own exercising classes. That's the word I wanted, classes. In one of her salon things. And it went really, really well until she just decided that she was tired of dealing with the people she was with. And then she went and was a hairdresser renting off of somebody else, and then she got sick of that, so she started another hairdressing business again. And so my parents do know a little bit about that stuff, and they've taught me as well. So I'm hoping to pass it on to you great folks out there. And I do hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, comment, favorite, do whatever you guys do best. Share. I don't care. Do what you all do best, because you're wonderful people. Please do leave in the comments section any questions you have. And I hope I can answer them, as far as, if you guys are from a different state than me. When it comes to questions about this kind of stuff, you might want to look it up for your own state, because I only know the state I live in. But if you have any questions about jewelry, painting, whatever it is that you have questions about, please don't feel afraid to ask. I am here for you guys. I hope you all had a wonderful day. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Bye!